want to talk about, you can make pleats, box pleats, you can make knife pleats, or you may use binding. Are you together? You may use binding, and as you see that one in that picture, they used binding to make it, but it's up to you to do what you want or to come up with a design that you want. And surprisingly, the aprons that are for tailors or for fashion designers, they usually put on, they are not too detailed than for hotels or restaurants. This one is more of a hotel or restaurant or kitchenware. Are you together? So that's what I want to talk about. Yes, we are going to see the capes of aprons. We have different types of capes. We have the round one. We have the round one, and we have another one that is in form of a block. Are you together? That is in form of a block. You find that mostly for women, they usually use this one, the round one, just because it covers their hair and it protects them so that it does not litter in food. Are you together? So we shall use the radius of 9. Shall use the radius of 9. When we use the radius of 9, it means that the diameter is what? Is 10. It means that the diameter is 18. Are you together? 9 plus 9 is 18. So you make sure that you do a circle with a radius of 9 or a diameter of 18. And when you come up with that circle, you cut your fabric. You cut your circle with a fabric. You cut your circle into a fabric, and it comes out like this. Are you together? Here I have 9, 9, 9. So you form such a circle. Are you together? And after forming this circle, you also cut a fabric that contains the circumference of your head. For example, if the circumference of your head is 23, let me measure mine and you will see. Mine is 22 and a half. If it is 22 and a half, you measure 22 and a half minus 2 inches. That means that you measure 20. We have removed these 2 inches just because to leave there an allowance. To leave there an allowance, for example, it is like this. Are together? We leave these 2 inches for the loops. Are together? For the loops or elastic, so that you can easily tie the head and it sticks, and the apron sticks onto your head. Are together? The same applies for this one, for the block. This part is on fold. This part is on fold. When you put this part on fold, that means you will come up with something like this. Are together? From here, distance from here up to here should be half of the circumference of your head. If my head was 22 and a half, it was 22. So if it was 22, that means that this part will be 11. This part will be 11. So if this part is on fold, when you unfold it, it will make 22 here. Are together? It makes 22 here. But don't forget to deduct the 2 inches. When I deduct the 2 inches, meaning that here I remain with 20. I remain with 20. Are together? And the 2 inches are always left there for both the loop and the what? And the loop or elastic. Are you together? So there we are. So when you are going to cut a round apron, we get our fabric and we should make sure that we can get a point where we can measure 9 inches when it is on a fold. So we fold it. We fold our cape like this. We fold our cape like this. So this one is on fold. This part is on fold. So you make sure that we measure 9 inches. Measure 9 inches, and we draw. That can help us to draw a curve of 9 inches. This is 9. Are you together? That is 9. So what we do, we reduce this fabric to make 9 inches. Are you together? We shall reduce it. We shall reduce so that you can make 9 inches. Are you together? So after getting those 9 inches of ours, then you can fold it the second time like this. You can fold it the second time like this. Are you together? So we can put this pointer of ours here, and we start marking where 9 inches come from. We start marking those 9 inches. Are you together? If you don't have this one, you can measure 9 inches part by part. Are together? If you don't have this one, you measure here 9 inches, you measure here 9 inches, you turn the tape measure, you measure here 9, you measure here 9, until you come up with such a curve. Are together? So I can cut out this fabric now. Are together? So when I unfold it, I come up with such a circle. Are together? It's a circle. So this part is the mid part. Are together? So what you are going to do, you are going to make pleats like this. Why are you making these pleats? So that we can reduce the circumference of this of this circle, so that it can easily fit on our head. Are together? So also for this cape, what we do, you can put here 5. We can give it a height of 5. Are together? You can also give it its length of 5 here. Are together? You can put here 5. It's up to you what your taste dictates, but you should leave the circumference of the head still as it was, minus the inches that we deducted. We said you shall deduct 2 inches. You can deduct 2 inches, you can deduct 3 inches depending on what you want, or depending on the loops you're going to put there. All together. So this is from here up to here we have 20. From here up to here we have 5. This part we said is unfold. When you unfold it, it becomes like this. All together. And here we also made 5. Here we slanted. We didn't continue like this, but we slanted so that it will give it a fashion, or we give it a design. All together. Just from here up to here, you make 5. Instead of finishing from here up to here, you can make 5 and you slant like this. You can make 5, you can make 8, depending on what you want. All together. So there we are. Now let us go there and cut our cape and see how it comes out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So to continue with our cape, with our box cape or blocked cape, this is what we are going to do. This is our stiff. The stiff is going to help us to direct us, or to give us a shape that you are going to use to make our cape. So this is our stiff. We can fold it like this, since we had, as we had shown there on the blackboard, that this part is always on fold. All together is on fold. So you fold it like this. So we can draw a straight line here. We do a straight line there. We measure the width or the circumference, and our circumference, my head was 22, so we deducted 2 and remained with 20, meaning that half of 20 is 10. We shall remain with 10. This is 10, and we mark this part like this. All together. So we shall give it a width of 6. Let us use 6 as our width. You can use 6 depending on what you want. You can use 5, you can use 6. So you also draw here a straight line running horizontally, and also draw here our line like this. So you come up with something like this. all together, and it's up to us to deduct 7, to deduct 6 all together. You can measure from here, from the folded part, this folded part of ours, from here up to here, we measure 6. And we may say, we shall also measure here 3 inches, so that we can come up with this straight line all together. So we are going to cut out this, and it's what we are going to use when we are making our cape. So we are going to make our cape in this kitenji. We're going to make our cape in this kitenji. So what we do, you get your stiff that you had cut, as it is. You put the fold part where the fold part is on the fabric all together. This is the fold part on the fabric. So we have to cut here like this, but you have to cut 2 pieces. So what you have to do, in order to save time and to save the fabric, we shall fold this fabric like this all together. Fold it like this, then we bring this one back. So we can now cut this part. We go down like this all together. We cut it like this. So we come up with something like this. This is the stiff you're going to use. This one is the first side of the fabric, and this one is the second side of the fabric. So you're going to sew them, and you see how you're going to come up with it. So what you're going to do, we are going to make pleats into this sack of ours. What are the importance of making those pleats? So that we can come up with the circumference of our head, or something slightly nearer the circumference of our head. So we shall fold these pleats like this. We make pleats like that. Hope they are together. So we are done with making these pleats all together. We are done with making these pleats, but you can leave a space like this one, whereby you'll be able to put your loops here to tighten it. So we have to make a band that you are going to use to tie the head very well. So here we are. This is our fabric, or our band we are going to use to put onto the apron, and this is to put onto our cape, and this is the cape all together. So you get your cape like this. You put your band on fold like this. You put your cape here like this all together. So you mark these points. These points, you mark them. You mark these points like this. You mark them, and you also mark this part of the of the cape. Then you bring it back like this. Then what you have to do is to put it here all together like this. You sew this part all together. You sew when it's like this. So when you put your eplone here like this, before you start sewing, you have to mark this point, and you also mark where your cape stops all together. You have to mark this part, and also mark where your cape stops. You mark this part and the down part like this. This is where you should stop sewing all together. Sorry, you have to deduct our 2 inches we had talked about. These are our 2 inches I talked about. So you have to stop sewing from here all together. Have to stop sewing from here. You stop sewing from here and leave these 2 inches all together. So I'm going to start sewing. So I stop from here where I had marked. I stop from here, then I go to the opposite side. I do the same. I go to the opposite side, I do the same, like this. This is where my choke is, so I have to stop here. Are you together? You have to leave this part. You have to leave this part. And when you leave that part, you have to first sew it like this. You fold it and sew it like you are hemming it. So we are here, all together we are here, and you had left this space as it is. So what you have to do, you have to cover these parts. You have to cover back these parts. By doing like this, you fold here like this, then you also fold here like this. You bring this one here like this, then you start sewing. We have to cover all this using this band. So this is what we have come up with. This is what we have come up with this block all together. So you can easily tie it like this, put it like this. You can easily tie the behind part like this all together. For women, this one is more especially used by women all together. It's more especially used by women because they always have hair or much hair. So this is the round cape. Now let us go and see this one. So we had cut our sleeve, and the two opposite sides of the fabrics are together. So what you are going to do to sew this one, you have to put this fabric onto the other like this, then lastly you put your sleeve. All together. So we are going to sew this one starting from this part like this. So when you finish sewing it like this, what you have to do, you can cut. You cut this margin so that when you unfold it, it is easier for us. So after that, we unwrap it like this. All together, then we top stitch it like this. Have to top stitch it. We can also top stitch, or you can sew this part too. Okay, sorry. So what you do, we are done sewing it like this. So what you do, you fold it like this. This is our band. We are going to use, this is our band. You also fold your band. This band you can measure like 5 inches. You can measure like 5 inches, and here you measure. Our measurements for the circumference of the head was 22. You can measure 26 so that it can surpass the circumference of your head. So after folding it like this, you get your band, you put it here like this. All together. You mark this point where it stops, and you also mark here in the center. All together. Then you unfold this one. You also unfold your band like this. All together. So you have to start sewing from here, going this side, or we start from here and we come this side. All together. So we do like this. We start sewing. After that, we bring our band this side and we fold this side like this. Also fold our band like this. You can fold like 2 inches so that you can give it a firm, you can make it a firm band. It become firm like this. All together. Then you sew starting from this side. So are we together? It becomes like this. So we are done with making our cape, and this is how it looks like. We put it like this. So this allowance we had left is for tying these loops all together, or tying this band like this all together. It's up to you. It's up to you to reduce on this length or the width of the cape. So it's your taste.